Hi guys, I'm Bella Networking Guru. I'm a networking trainer, a networking mentor, and a networking speaker. Thank you so much for joining my training program on how to turn coffee into clients. So guys, this is going to be an 8-part module. And I know everybody wants to jump on board and instantly attend a networking event, pick up your badge, network, exchange business cards, and with the hope of magic, that new delegate and that new relationship is going to turn into a client. Now, I wish the world of business was that easy, but like anything in life, you have to put the hard work in if you would like results. So my training program consists of 8 modules to get from A to B, turning coffee into clients, from one coffee into the clients. But there's work that you must do. Not only is there work that you must do, you have to prepare. You have to be productive, and you have to measure, and you have to be consistent if you do want that end result of turning a coffee into clients. Because it can happen, the results can be achieved, but there needs to be a series of 8 processes for that to happen. So this is part 1 of the modules. This part is very much the introduction. This is the part within networking that a lot of people don't think about. Part 1 is very much the introduction to why networking will be successful or will not be successful. And this is the introduction to networking and the art of planning for networking results to turn your business cards, to turn your coffee into clients. So the very first thing we have to do before even understanding what is the definition of networking, you first have to understand the definition of you. Then the definition of your business, the definition of your passion, the definition of your business services, and the definition of your target audience and your target market. Part B, Module 1, Definition. As a networking guru, you might expect me to start by talking about what is networking. But that's not going to be the case in this training module. We must start by understanding you. If you go back and look at any successful entrepreneur, such as Alan Sugar, Richard Branson, Dyson, they have their own unique qualities. Not only do they have their own unique qualities, they have their own strengths and weaknesses. No business can stand alone. Just like the saying, no man is an island. A business success comprises of a team, not just one individual person. And networking works like that as well. In order to achieve networking results, it's a combination of many things. Just like success in business is a combination of you, your strengths and your weaknesses. And we will explore that later on within the training modules, your networking strengths and your networking weaknesses to achieve ultimate results, to turn coffee into clients. We must first start by understanding you. So the question I'd ask you, why have you decided to go into business? What is your passion behind the business service? What is your passion behind business? The reason those questions are so important because it will equal your motivation. What a lot of people fail to understand with networking, to equal great networking results must have the ignition of motivation. This is because at the activity of networking, it can be very tiring, and this is where some people fail. And it's easy to fail. You may have a long day in the office or a long day working at home. Your email flashes up or your Google Calendar flashes up that tonight there is a networking event starting at 6 or 6:30. You feel extremely tired. You go to the networking event. Networking event is, regardless whether we like it or not, a social activity of communicating, which can be very tiring. So at the networking event, you're communicating and talking. Therefore, you need to feel motivated to do so. And at a networking event, motivation to keep going is very important because it has an effect on how you're perceived. If your motivation is low, you will be tired, and that can affect your personal brand perception. When you meet a delegate for the first time, they will have a first impression on you. And we know the saying, you only get one chance to make a good first impression. So if your motivation is low, you're not going to appear inspired, your communications are not going to be that great, and the results will not be flourishing. So that's why it's very important to answer the question, why are you in business? Why have you decided to launch the particular service? What's your passion? And that will equal your motivation. Because your motivation is going to be a bit like the Superman kryptonite. Motivation is what's going to keep you going. Motivation is what's going to help you hit your target on the number of networking events you need to attend to hit your sales target. If you're not motivated, you're not going to want to go to networking events. And when you're not motivated, you're not going to perform. So if we go back, why are you in business? What do you enjoy about business? Why have you chosen your service? And what's your passion? The last questions to ask around that is a very, very open, closed-ended question of being honest with yourself. What are my business strengths in this business and business industry? And what are my weaknesses? Because this will affect your networking and your networking results. The faster you can accept and agree within yourself what your weaknesses are, the better. That's the number one start and the number one focus. Strengths will always be strengths. Strengths will double. Strengths will triple. Strengths never ever go away. Yes, one day you may not be motivated, but your strengths of your skill and your talent will never disappear. It's so important to have the conversations about weaknesses, because weaknesses can dilute your strengths. Weaknesses can stand in the way of knocking your focus, and weaknesses can stand in the way of networking results and motivation. In the later modules, I'll talk about when you've identified your weaknesses, how you can use that as a tool in networking to build the right relationships that can raise your weaknesses. But at this stage, it's important to have those conversations with yourself. The next conversation is to outline exactly what are my business services. This is crucial and fundamental, because when you're networking and we're at the stage of mastering the art of conversation, if you're not able to diligently explain what your business services are, it's going to affect actually whether the delegate wants to exchange a business card with you. Without a business card, you cannot contact that delegate and continue the conversations to have a coffee. Therefore, that new delegate that you may be potentially interested in cannot turn into a client, because without a business card, you cannot contact the client, you cannot contact the delegate, and without contacting the delegate, you cannot invite them to coffee. So we need to start and make that introduction of what are your business services. And an exercise that I give you, you need to be able to succinctly describe your business services in 2 sentences. It's very important, because at the stage of mastering the art of conversation at a networking events can be so busy when you may be talking to somebody directly and then somebody else joins the group. So if you can't say quite quickly and diligently and explaining in as much detail as you can, as quickly as possible, what your business services are to the other delegate or group of delegates, and they don't understand it, sometimes, like this saying, you've only got one chance. So in this introduction in module 1, it's important that you know what your business services are and how you're able to describe the business services. In an extension to that, you need to be aware of 2 top competitors who are doing exactly what you are doing, who are selling the same product as you, if it's a product, or offering the same service. You need to do some competitive research on those 2 competitors. And if possible, find 1 or 2 competitors that are bigger and better than you. And it's nothing to be nervous about, because you would like to know why they're the best or better than you in your industry. When you do your competitive research, you then need to find out, well, where do you sit in the industry against your competitors? Why is this important? Because when you're networking and you want to achieve that coffee, to turn that coffee into a client, you only have a small window to describe your services and show that you're an industry expert and you're the best at what you do. So if you do your homework and measure against other competitors and yourself, you can see where you fit. And during your own business journey and entrepreneur journey, you need to be investing in CPD to ensure you are the top of your game, that you are always that 1 inch ahead of your competitors. Because at the networking event, the moment you share your business service within those 2 sentences or the elevator of your choice, elevator pitch of your choice, the delegate will automatically ask questions. So you need to have your answers ready, and the majority of the answers will come about your service. So you need to show why they should book your services, because you are better than your competition. And that's what business is about, being the best and better than your competition, and being able to demonstrate that at that networking event. That's what you're there for, to showcase your business, to showcase that you should be the one, that other delegate should hire you because you're the best. And that's one of the elements of turning the relationship into a coffee booking and turning it into a client. Module 1, Part C, Target Market. So you understand what your business services are. This is a great start. Now, the next stage is to really understand your target market, your target audience. Who are your clients and why? Why is this essential? This will encourage and increase networking results. This will help you to use networking as a business development tool to help you achieve your sales targets. In order to achieve your sales targets, you must be able to understand who your clients are. Who are you selling to and why? Why are your customers buying from you? And more importantly, why are they buying from you and not your competitors? That's why it's so important to understand two of your top competitors. And also, why are those clients not buying from you and buying from your competitors? That is something I talk about, the power of three. Being productive, knowing your customers. Being consistent, consistently reviewing why are the clients buying from your competitors, why are your competitors better, and measuring. Productivity, consistency, and measurement. This is going to help your networking results. So when you're looking at and analysing who your clients and why, be in your target market, this will help you to choose the right networking event. Because if you attend the wrong networking event where the delegates are not going to be a characteristics of your client, the only thing that's going to happen is collecting unwanted business cards and the other delegate refusing or saying no to a coffee. And it's the coffee that's needed to create a new client. So you're wasting your time if you're attending networking events where the delegates are not the characteristics of your client. So by starting and understanding who are your clients first, helps you to meet the right delegates to get a yes for a coffee. Now, networking is a marketing tool and a business development tool, but it's also a great place for market research. Now, as a networking guru, it's my job to give you the networking techniques to grow your business and to win new clients and to win and hit your sales target. However, networking is a great marketplace, and networking can also achieve many other advantages. So an advantage I'd like to give to you as an exercise is attend a networking event and get some feedback on your services. Ask questions about what delegates might expect from your service. Have they booked your service before? Who else do they need? Who else do they use for your service, or if it's a product? Because if you're not sure at this stage who are your customers and why are they buying, networking is a perfect opportunity of that marketplace, of other potential clients or clients that buy from your competitors. And it's fine to have those conversations at a networking event because it's a marketing exercise and a marketing activity helping you to be the best in your industry and better than your competitors. So it's okay to have those questions at the networking event to ask the delegate what they might think of your service. And this is the power of three. The productivity, consistency, and measurement. So maybe in your calendar diaries, Google diaries, or Outlook diaries, maybe once a quarter, make an effort not just to network for sales target achievement or business development, once a quarter, make an effort for client market research to strengthen your position. And this will actually strengthen your master of art of conversations, which we'll talk about later in other modules. Module 1, Part C, Definition of Networking. So guys, I'm sure some of you fast forward to get the definition of networking, which I totally understand. But in order to achieve networking success, you have to understand networking is a combination of marketing activities. So I encourage for you to go back and understand the definition of you, the definition of your business, the definition of your passion, the definition of your target market, and the definition of your business services. So the definition of networking, if you look in the dictionary for the definition of business networking, it will say different things. As a networking guru with 10 years solid networking experience as a networking speaker, this is my definition of networking. Networking is a marketing tool that allows you to build relationships for mutual benefits to increase and grow your business. So let's break that down. Networking is a marketing tool. I've worked with many clients or potential clients that want to invest in networking and want networking results. And I be honest and say to my clients, if you don't understand, first of all, that networking is a marketing tool and a business development tool, you will not see the results that you want. Networking cannot stand on its own. Networking cannot stand on its own. It has to be a combination of different things. It's a bit like making a great cup of tea. You need hot water, you need milk, and actually the tea bag. It's just like making a cake. You need flour, you need eggs, you need all the lovely ingredients, and you need an oven. Networking success can only be achieved by understanding it's a marketing tool. The next part of the definition is it's the art of building relationships. Business is about people, whether we like it or not. Yes, we're selling a service. Yes, we may be selling a product, but business is about people. It may be seen that a business has a postcode, a business has a location, bricks and mortar, but it was created by somebody. Every business was created by somebody. If you look at Marks and Spencer's, that has been going since 1884. Cat far to know to get the correct date when Marks and Spencer's started. It was around 1884. It's been going for years, but it was started by a person. It was actually, Marks and Spencer's was actually started on a market stall by two people. Any product and service was built or started by somebody. Even the aeroplanes we take for granted at Heathrow Airport, Gatwick Airport, JFK if you're in New York, was by somebody, the Wright brothers. There's always a person behind a business or a product or a service. And that's where the transactions start. So building a relationship is essential. No business transaction will be achieved without trust and likability. If we go back to the airline example, we have maybe Delta Airways, British Airways, and Virgin. If we take away the business service or the business product, all three of those brands are selling the same thing, the same transaction, getting you from A to B by travel. Each customer makes the decision of which one of those three airlines to purchase their travel ticket based on the brand or the company persona, the trust of the brand. So the business always has somebody behind it, which can also be known as the brand. So in networking, the only way you're going to get a yes is at the point of conversations. Does that delegate trust you? Does that delegate like you? Trust you, like you, there were two words that were in common, you. The other delegate is buying you, and that is the start of the relationship. So when you're networking, one of the parts that I say to clients is we need to work on you. So in the earlier module, I said to you, you need to find out what's the definition of you. What's the definition of your passion? The more you're able to embody that and bring that out in networking, it will turn coffee into clients. Because that other delegate at the point of exchanging business card is going to feel encouraged and motivated that, wow, there's something about this person. I want to know more about it. So when they get that telephone call, we met at the networking event, chamber event, I'd love to meet you for coffee, the other person's going to say yes. So if we look at the negative side, if that delegate felt a negative perception about you or had an or ahhing about you, believe me, there's going to be a less chance they're going to say yes for a coffee. And that coffee is needed. And I'll talk later on where the coffee meeting is the start of extending the business relationship to also turning the relationship into a new client. Networking survives, manifests, eats on relationship. Without relationship, there is no networking. No networking will survive without relationships. And in further modules, I'll talk about building relationships, igniting relationships, creating relationships, walking into the networking room and choosing, because you have a choice, who you want to start a relationship with. The other part of the definition of networking is the element of building mutual benefits. Mutual benefits. Business is a two-way street. It's a road. It's a two-way road. When you're driving, you either can go around the roundabout, you can have two lanes, a motorway, a dual carriageway, or you can have a one-way. Business is no way a one-way road. I have yet to see networking succeed on a one-way road. Networking is not a one-way road. It's impossible. It will not survive because no man is an island. Networking involves two people and there needs to have a mutual benefit. In other words, I scratch your back and you scratch my back. That is how networking works because we've built a relationship and also, whether we like it or not in business, we're doing something for each other. Later on in the module of building relationships, I'll talk about the different categories and the results from networking to eventually achieve a client. Should that be direct from the networking event or a referral? So networking, and I be very blunt, is mutual benefits. Whether you like it or not, everybody's getting something back. Now, if we go back to the you and go back to the people side of business, and that also in business, you are not just selling your service. People are buying people, not services. So business has a funny way that the mutual benefits sit into many characteristics and many categories for success. It could just be the hunch of your personality or something about you that equates to that other person's mutual benefit, and they are satisfied. Another person, it may be that the mutual benefit has to result in a client. The mutual benefit might be actually just the coffee to meet you and get to know you, and it doesn't go anywhere. The actual mutual benefit might be just to have you in my contact, in my network of contacts, that we are now connections. We are now on the next level of a relationship. You're my contact, I may be your contact. The mutual benefit list is endless, but there must be one single mutual benefit or more than one. Without a mutual benefit, the definition of networking does not work.